guys, welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here. I thought I would do another kind of tips and tricks video for you guys. Tonight we're going to talk about flying on the airplane, especially for those kiddos. Now, I have done several kind of tips and tricks for parents out there who don't travel, say, as often or as I do, or perhaps it's like your first trip. But my mother did inspire me to do this video because she was asking a lot of questions about flying with kids right now. Obviously, it's been a while for her, so things have changed a little bit. So I thought I would give you guys kind of my top 5 tips and tricks on flying with kids right now, especially things to kind of pack and bring with you. You guys ready? Okay, so the number one thing on my list, and this really doesn't have anything to do with COVID. This has something to do with, well, germs in general, but I don't go or fly anywhere without sanitizer, right? The first thing I do when I get on that airplane is I wipe everything down. So any type of sanitizer or thing that you can pack will really help. I have done several travel day videos where I actually teach you guys what exactly to wipe down, but basically the answer is everything. Make sure you get your tray, the top, the bottom, make sure you get your screen, make sure you get the vents on top, your seat belts, your handles, you know, your armrests, and especially that pocket. You know what I'm talking about? I call it the germ zone. Everyone puts their stuffy Kleenexes in there, their half-eaten food, tissues with gum in there. Everything gets stuffed in kind of that pocket in the seat in front of you. Absolutely disgusting. So I always tell my kids, A, we're not touching that pocket, and B, I always make sure I wipe it down. Now, in addition to making sure you're wiping stuff down, it is just helpful, because of COVID especially right now, that we keep those kiddos clean, right? They're constantly putting their hands in their mouth or food, right? Because you do get kind of fed on the airplane. So I just always have a bunch of stuff with me. I love these wet ones because they are great for food allergies. They are known for getting rid of the food proteins. I especially love the little car pack because it fits like in the water bottle holder of your backpack. Another good option is just Clorox wipes in this soft kind of bag. What I really love about these two especially is once I'm done on the airplane, I leave them in the hotel, right? I leave it so anyone can kind of wipe anything down in the hotel room on top of sticky fingers and sticky hands. I also always carry hand sanitation spray. Now I know some of you like the gel. I am a spray girl. This way, if I notice my kids kind of touching something or they just ate something, I can kind of spritz their fingers and kind of get everyone all clean. Of course, you can do that with these as well because these are safe for your hands and your face. So yeah, number one tip, thing to pack, please don't forget the sanitation, right? Wipes, spray, gel, whatever it is you do, make sure you pack it. And yeah, especially for the seats, the trays, and ooh, that pocket, right? Ugh, gross. Okay, number 2. Now, number 2 is what's a little bit different. So if you haven't flown with kiddos in a while, you might not think of this one specifically, but headphones. Headphones with or without a form of tablet or phone or something the kiddos can watch, right? Especially if you're on a longer flight, keeping them distracted is key. I don't go anywhere without my kids' headphones. These are kid-size headphones. I especially like them because they have the thicker kind of foam pad on the ear. They kind of become like a noise blocker at the same time. Now, when they were really little, we had these headband headphones. I don't have one to show you, but it was basically like this headband that you could wear around your head. And they had these little adjustable speakers that you could kind of put over your ears. So it was almost like they were wearing a headband. Make sure you look those up if you have littles. But the reason I suggest headphones is most airlines right now have TV screens, individual TV screens. In fact, I highly suggest you book a nicer airline like Delta, for example, so that you can ensure your kids will have an individual TV screen. Now, I post about this all the time on my travel day videos where I actually show you guys the options of movies and games and TV shows on Delta flights right now. because that's just another way to entertain those kiddos, right? We've all heard those horror stories of that kid was crying the entire flight or whatever. Bringing them some form of entertainment is key. And right now, if it has to be some form of device, do it. Plan ahead. See if your flight or your airline has individual TV screens. Make sure you pack those headphones. And if you're nervous, you're not quite sure if they have those TV screens, then get a tablet and load it up with your kiddo's favorite show and favorite movie. It's just a great, easy way to entertain those kids. Number 3. Now this one is kind of obvious, but I have something to kind of tip about it, right? So obviously as a parent, you're probably gonna pack your kids extra snacks. I 100% suggest extra snacks, but if you are worried about having a fussy kid on the airplane, you most definitely wanna pack their favorite snacks, right? I love little to-go packs of snacks. I love, little packs of cereal. I love little mini Oreos, for example. Granola bars, anything that's kind of just really easy to pack for them to eat and whatnot. But the biggest trick of this is beverages, right? I see a lot of people on airplanes who do not pack their kids water bottles. Now this is what happens. If you go on the flight, you have 2 options. Sometimes you only have 1 option. They often will give the kids their own individual water bottle, right? Which means screw top, or they hand you a beverage with no lid, no straw. Guess what that equals, guys? Accidents. Lots and lots of accidents. That means the kiddo is drinking the water and spilling it all over themselves. That means the cap to the water might disappear, end up in that pocket, fall on the germy floor, who knows? And then how are you gonna put the lid back on that water? Or imagine your kid just getting a cup of whatever and it goes all over the place. So my biggest advice right now is not only pack those snacks, those easy to pack, easy to eat, kid favorite snacks, but you wanna pack them in easy water bottle. Even if you don't fill it, you can then fill it on the airplane with the water that they give you or the drink or beverage that they give you. That way your kid has an easy spill-proof way to kind of drink on the airplane. My kids each have their own water bottles. They're always in like my airplane tote bag. That way I don't have to worry about accidents and spills, because basically the key with kids on planes is you're just trying to prevent all those things from happening so you can have an easy breezy flight, right? I mean, that's the key. We just want to get through this flight as painless as possible. So yes, snacks and easy to drink beverages, especially water bottles. You can pack your kids' juice boxes. That sounds great, except when they squirt too hard and apple juice squirts all over the straw. Just a little heads up for you guys, because I've been through it and I have done it myself. All right, so number 4. Number 4 is additional entertainment, right? Not all kids are gonna be entertained by a TV screen. Some of them might have too much TV at home, in which case this is boring to them, or maybe the movie that you kind of picked out was something they already saw. Who knows? Kids are weird, right? So you want to pack them or plan for additional forms of entertainment. Now, of course, the go-to is always coloring books and color crayons, and ideally that sounds great, except when they drop the crayon on the floor. Depending on the age of your kiddo, that could equal an instant meltdown. Plus, that means you're crawling on the floor trying to find the red crayon, the green crayon, the whatever the kiddo dropped. So I have learned the hard way not to pack things that are, well, easily droppable. This means crayons. I am a no on the crayons on the airplane. So now you're thinking, okay, Nina, that makes sense. But then what do you pack? So I love sticker books. Sticker books are great, especially if your kiddo loves stickers, because all they have to do is peel the sticker and stick the sticker. Sometimes the stickers are removable. Maybe you can find that book, but it's less likely you're gonna drop that sticker as you are that red crayon, right? The other thing I love right now is, I don't know if you guys remember it from when we were kids, but they have these little they're called Imagine Ink books, where they come with like one magic marker and they have this like blank page. And then you take the magic marker and you draw it on the page, and all of of a sudden the colors appear. Granted, this isn't perfect for all kiddos, but some kiddos, that's just enough entertainment to get you by. The other thing I love are magnetic game sets. Now you can find these on Amazon or wherever you're looking, but they have these like puzzles or games or even dress up doll kits, right? That are magnetic pieces. Again, I realize you could drop that magnetic piece, but it's a little less likely than you are to drop a red crayon. So when I was shopping, I actually found this. It's a magnetic bingo kit. It actually opens up, and so one side is for one player, one side is for the other, and the pieces, you know, the things to play bingo on, are magnetic. And there's a little spinner. Again, this is just another example of something you could do, something to kind of think outside of the box, that's less likely something they're gonna drop. But if you have to do a notebook, if you have to do some sort of coloring book, this is my suggestion. I love these multicolored pens, right? Remember these from childhood? There's 4 different colors in this one pen. They actually make several different colors of these from Bic. I think that's the brand. Yep, B-I-C. So you can find those on Amazon. Plus, they sell these. You guys remember these? The multicolor crayon pencil, where you can kind of get all the different colors in one crayon. I love that option as well because you're kind of less likely to drop it as you are just kind of loose crayons on that tray. But if your kiddo loves crayons and you absolutely have to bring crayons, I love this. I got this for my daughter when she was little. Ironically, she never really used it because she wasn't really one for crayons. But it's like a roll-up pack of crayons. So rather than it being loose crayons in a box, they actually roll up, and they're in this little fabric thing that you just kind of roll. That way this just kind of sits on the tray and they can just grab the color that they want and then put it back. When you have them kind of loose on the tray, that's when they tend to fall. So that's my kind of trick on additional entertainment. You just want to think, is this most likely to fall off the tray? Am I most likely going to be digging on the bottom of the floor of the airplane trying to find this item? That's kind of where my brain goes to, especially now during COVID. The last thing I want to be doing is crawling around the floor of the airplane, right? All right, so number 5 is, well, unfortunately, popping of the ears, right? So if you fly on the airplane, there is a chance your ears will pop or kind of get clogged, right? Kiddos, especially kiddos for the first time, this experience could just really be shocking to them and painful because they don't know what's going on. So you do want to prepare for that. Now, depending on the age of your kiddo, you could pack gum, right? I spend my whole flight chewing on gum. You could pack kind of hard candies to suck on. This is what I pack for my kids. So you can pack gum or hard candy. I also like to teach my kids ways that they could pop their ears, almost like we kind of practice, right? Because you can yawn and you can kind of do this a little bit. There's the one where you take and you plug your nose and you kind of blow to try to get the air to come out your ears. There's little tricks that you can try, but obviously a little kiddo whose ears are popping could be extremely painful. So you want to look out for that. In addition to the popping of the ears, you also have to be a little bit, at least aware of motion sickness, right? Especially if this is your first flight, you don't know if your kid is going to have motion sickness. You just don't know. Both of my kids do. My oldest had motion sickness on her first flight and every flight since. And my youngest, it took him a couple of flights for him to start feeling that motion sickness issues. So it's just something to be aware of, right? It's nothing to freak out about, just be prepared for it. So it's really easy. Just go ahead and pack yourself a couple of buckets. These are like Chinese food to-go containers that we have gotten. We wash. I just stick them in my airplane bag. In fact, you can like stick a water bottle inside of it to help, for it not to take up too much space. I just always have them on hand because you cannot count on that pocket in front of you having that special, barf baggie in it. Half of the time it's already missing. So having containers that you can use or not use, it's up to you depending on the situation, just as a backup, I think is just very smart. In addition to that, you can easily get a Dramamine for kids Even if you're not sure if your kiddo has motion sickness, it's like $5. Just buy it. Have it on hand just in case. So here's Dramamine for kids. They're just disposable little pills, right? That's it. Really easy. The kiddos just chew them. So just having those things on hand could help you should a situation arise, because the last thing you want to do is not be prepared for it. Now, my kind of bonus, you can call it, kind of tip number 6 is, depending on your kiddo's age, you might want to pack their favorite lovey or plush, right? Something they need to cuddle up with so they can feel comfortable and loved and at home, right? So if this is what keeps them happy and this is what's going to keep them calm, then don't forget to pack that favorite blanket, pillow, Donald Duck perhaps, with you on the airplane. Now, I will warn, especially now because of COVID, the more that blanket and that lovey and that plush is on the airplane, the more chance it has to get those germs, especially if your kiddo is sleeping with that blanket, pillow, and plushie later that evening. So this is what I have learned. I will pack the pillow and the plushie in my tote bag, but I don't get it out instantly. I don't tell the kid, oh, here's your plush, here's your whatever. I keep it as like my secret, like my last attempt to try to save the day trick. I always just kind of keep it in the tote bag, don't tell them about it. And if it gets to that point, you know that point, then I will offer it to them. The reason I do this is, again, I don't want that plush getting all germy and being all over the airplane. So it's kind of my last resort. Now, I learned this the hard way. My son, I think it was his first or second flight ever, and he sleeps with these 3 special plushes, right? His favorite little things. He sleeps with them right now, today, right, at his age. So I promised him we would be packing them for Disney. Absolutely, they were coming to Disney with us, but mommy was afraid that they would get dropped or get lost, so I was gonna put them in the suitcase, right? So they weren't something we were gonna cuddle with on the airplane. So I did indeed remember to pack them, yes. I was good about that. However, it took several hours for Bellhop to bring us our luggage. And as soon as we landed, as soon as we arrived to Disney, guess who wanted his plushies? That's right. He cried pretty much the entire time until the suitcases came so I could give him his Lovies. He was so worried they were lost on the airplane, they lost on the car, or all these things that are probably going on through his head. So I have learned that if I'm gonna pack that favorite toy, I am not gonna pack it in checked baggage. I'm packing it right there with me, so as soon as we are in a safe place, I can give it to them and they can kind of be happy and chill. Do not pack it in checked luggage in case your situation is what happened to me. But either way, guys, that is my top 5, perhaps 6, things that I think you should consider or pack when, taking kids on an airplane, especially those first time kiddos, those younger kiddos. So anyway, guys, I hope this video helped you out. Let me know if you have other things that you pack on flights that have helped you. Perhaps I can add them to my list. But as always, guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If the subscribe button is red, please click it, turn it gray, hit the bell icon for notifications, like this video. And like I said, let me know which of these items are you like, oh, Nina, yes, I am buying that right now. Or what items did I forget? What is like something you always bring on the airplane that helps your kiddo out that I didn't list? I'd love to extend my tips and tricks for you guys for my next who knows what video. But as always, guys, mahalo for watching. Nina out.